So I'm here in America right now, and evidently on this day that is today, Americans celebrate a holiday which is July 4th. You don't hear a lot about July 4th in England. It's sort of like if you lose a fight, that's not the fight that you talk about down the pub on a Sunday. You keep that one out of your conversation. But I'm here now, and Americans are going nuts over this holiday, and I'm really for it. I'm just really happy for America today. So much so that I actually went out of my way to make Jameson a cup of English tea. Here you go, Jameson. Just say well done. Here you go. Good for you. Given the nature of today, I thought it would be appropriate to do a video on how to get over an argument that you've had. We all go through arguments in relationships, and what happens is we get to the end of that argument and we don't necessarily know how to repair it afterwards. How do we fix the damage that's been done? Well, we don't do it by continuing the feud, we do it by better communication. There are two things going on in any argument: rules and standards. Standards tend to be more about the fundamentals for what you will and won't accept in a relationship. In other words, what level of love or lovingness is acceptable? What level of generosity is acceptable? What level of care? What level of nurturing? What level of excitement is acceptable? And really that forms the type of relationship you want to have at its core. Rules are about the surface level ways that we determine whether someone is meeting our standards. I have a rule that says someone has to get home by a certain time in order to show that they love me and they want to spend time with me. Or I have a rule that says someone has to text me a certain amount of times a day to show the right level of thoughtfulness. Now, the difference between rules and standards is that standards are very, very important at their core because they reveal intent and values. Rules are things that we ourselves make up. It's a meaning we attribute to things. We're not always right, by the way, in the meaning we attribute to things, and sometimes our rules are crazy or out of proportion or just in the wrong context. Now, if someone's breaking your rule, you have a decision to make. Do I want to change this rule? Is it relevant in this particular moment? And many times you'll decide that the rule is not as important as the relationship itself, and that you have a level of love and care and connection that says, you know what, I can get bigger than this rule. I don't need to make this so important. If someone fundamentally violated your standard, that's a different story. Now, what most people do when their standard is violated is they get angry, upset, they get emotional, and they don't know how to vent that. So they stop communicating and they just continue arguing. What we have to do is learn to communicate. Now, the best way of doing that is to start in a positive way. I love you, or I like you, I care for you, I want to be close to you, but right now, with what you're doing, with the way you're violating my standard, I can't be close to you. So as much as I want to, this can't work until you're able to change this part of you. That way you give them the space to go away and improve and surprise you. If they have that potential, give them the chance to reach that potential. Not forever, but for enough time for them to change. If they can't reach that potential, we have to be brave enough to separate ourselves from that person so we can go and include more people in our lives who will. You're either going to have someone who stays and you keep around because they can meet your standards, or you're going to lose someone who can't meet your standards. So you'll either keep someone who's right for you, or you'll lose someone who's wrong for you. Life really can be as simple as that, even if it's painful at times. So that's it from me today. Happy Independence Day. Anything else we can throw in? Make it more interesting? It should get us some more views on YouTube, shouldn't it? People love dogs. Don't go becoming a stuck-up bitch, all right? That was a one-time only thing. She knows. She knows.